Hey, ho, hey, ho. I went to the restaurant and I ordered the lobster, and the lobster came to the table and said, "Hey, what's up there?" And I said, "I don't know, I'm about to eat some lobster. Is it good?" And he said, "I think so. Eat me, eat my flesh, eat my body whole. Eat me now. Hey, 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 Hi everyone, Greenthony Screen Tano here, the internet's busiest music nerd, and it's time for a review of the new Action Bronson album, Blue Chip 7000. New York rapper Action Bronson is back with a new full-length commercial project. His latest installment of the Blue Chip series, which he's released a few mixtapes in so far, where he typically gets together with producer Party Supplies. However, on this project, he's not working exclusively with Party Supplies. He's bringing on guys like Knowledge, The Alchemist, Harry Fraud. Alchemist and Harry Fraud have brought him some pretty fantastic beats in the past, so I'm pretty excited to hear him work with them again. And these guys deliver to Bronson this smooth, classy backdrop of ritzy jazz funk and 70s soundtrack music. There's an amazing reggae flip on the song Hot Pepper featuring Ja Tiger and Mayhem Loren, and the really glamorous instrumental on the track 924-7000 is exactly the backdrop you would want to have for a guest feature for the likes of Rick Ross. The singles on this thing didn't really wow me or stick with me, but there was no way that this project could have been as disappointing as Mr. Wonderful, Bronson's last album. Which surprised me because the teaser tracks to that thing were some of the best material Bronson had released to date. But then the deeper cuts on this record, I mean, there were so many filler cuts, there were so many tracks where he would go on these weird artistic detours like he's singing. Blue Chip 7 is much more consistent. Bronson sounds like the star of his own exploitation film, loaded with bars that never run out of booze, guns that never run out of bullets, babes in bikinis, muscle cars, he's sliding across the hood of one, that kind of shit. And lyrically, Bronson depicts himself as living this comedically lavish lifestyle. I mean, the opening track on here not only kicks off with audio of Bronson getting high with his mom, and his mom is trying to describe how high she is. It's one of the funniest things I've heard this year. But also this line where he's talking about showing up to a wedding wearing Puerto Rican Air Force Ones. Not a detail that usually comes up with a lot of other rappers' lyrics. There was also this set of bars about clapping for the chef bringing a duck to the table, like a roast duck, and it's glowing like an angel. Then he goes on to say he's never trusted a guy named Angel, and that he pulls out the long sleeve 4/5 and turns him to an angel. Just the sense of humor and the way of just kind of bringing three different perspectives to that one word. The record is just loaded with these sharp little one-liners or just exquisite details that Bronson brings to descriptions of food or people or situations or even himself that are just so extra. And I mean extra in the best way possible. Extra in such a way where it makes his whole shtick, his whole style special. And it makes the world that he pulls the listener into so much more entertaining. Sometimes Bronson's similes can get a little questionable, like on the track Hot Pepper, where he says he's going out of his mind like Tom Hanks with the soccer ball. The soccer ball. Despite these shortcomings, Bronson does bring an incredible amount of personality to this project. When it comes to personality, Bronson is like a 5-course meal. He's the soup, the salad, the appetizer, the entree, and the dessert. Bronson has character and flow and heart, but I can't help but feel like this project still suffers from a lot of the big ticket, grander scheme problems that some of his previous projects did. Like, a lot of songs on this thing are super short, and some of the ones that do manage to reach the 3-minute mark are padded out with like instrumental dead air, these needless intros and outros. Well, not to say that they're completely needless, a lot of them are very entertaining, but some of them just take up way too much of a single track. Songs like The Choreographer or La Luna or Bonsai and My Right Lung are some of this album's biggest offenders. As much as I think the bar about his Colombian princess coming at you in the neck with the scissors until it looks like Twizzlers is one of the most funny bars I've heard this year, the song itself is not very well structured. It's kind of like a lyrical interlude or something. And when Bronson does work in a hook, like on the song Let Me Breathe, it just kind of seems like it's just for the purpose of making a joke and to be a little tongue-in-cheek, which in theory is fine, but when it's one of the few songs on here that's like actually kind of built up to work as an effective single. Bronson occasionally gets by without a good chorus because his bars are kind of personal, telling, or delivered in a passionate manner, like on the track Tank. But a lot of Blue Chip 7000 just seems to be a little too casual to be as epic as I think an Action Bronson project could be. Because for once, it would be great to hear an album that feels as larger than life as the personality that Action Bronson brings to the table. Because he's not this one-dimensional guy. He has emotional dynamics to his music, like the devastating feelings on the song Chop Chop Chop, or the humorous grit of the track The Chairman's Intent, the undeniable charm of Hot Pepper, and just how ridiculous and bombastic and over the top the track DURAG versus Headband is. Like the Wayne's World reference on that track is so funny that even Action sort of stops to laugh himself at it. So the dynamics and the personality, and I feel like the fundamentals and the baseline talent are certainly here on this record, but they just need to be built up into something greater than the sum of their parts. Hopefully what Blue Chip 7000 is ultimately is just Bronson kind of holding us over a little bit longer until he gives us something a bit grander in scope. I'm feeling a decent to strong 6 on this thing. Transition. Have you given this album a listen? Did you love it? Did you hate it? What would you rate it? You're the best. You're the best. What should I review next? Hit the like if you like. Please subscribe and please don't cry. Over here next to my head is another Action Bronson review, or you can click on the link to subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys in the next one. Action Bronson, Blue Chips 7000 forever. Hi.